Utilities have their own standard to protect their workers from arc flash exposure. It is the National Electrical Safety Code, or NESC. NESC covers utility facilities and equipment up to the service point of its customers. After that point, the requirements of NFPA 70E take over. In NESC, the utility is required to perform a hazard risk assessment to determine the exposure potential to an arc flash for various work practices. If the hazard is above 2 calories per centimeter, then arc-resistant clothing must be worn. Just like NFPA 70E, there is an option for either a detailed hazard analysis or simplified tables which can be used to determine the FR clothing and appropriate arc rating. The NESC tables are based on the voltage, fault current, and clearing times for various tasks. There are 2 tables. Table 410-1 for voltages 1 through 46 kilovolts. This outlines the FR clothing requirements with arc ratings of either 4, 8, or 12 calories per square centimeter. Table 412-2 for voltages 46.1 to 800 kilovolts. Again, based on fault current and clearing times, it outlines FR clothing requirements for 4, 8, or 12 calories per square centimeter. There are 2 exceptions to this table. First, if the exposure is below 1000 volts, no assessment is required. You just need to put workers into clothing with a minimum arc rating of 4 calories per square centimeter. Second, if the clothing required to meet a particular level has the potential to create a greater hazard for the worker than the arc flash hazard itself, then clothing of a lower arc rating may be worn. Individual states have the option of adopting the National Electrical Safety Code, or they may create their own code. Many states adopt the NESC automatically, but those of you responsible for safety at utilities should check with your state to see what particular safety code they are using. OSHA has developed a federal regulation covering rules for utilities during the operation and maintenance of electric power generation, transmission, and distribution lines and equipment. It states that when working on or near exposed energized parts, employees exposed to electric arcs shall not wear clothing that could increase the extent of injury. It specifically prohibits non-FR fabrics like acetate, polyester, and rayon. OSHA has been working on updating 1910-269, and word has it that a revised standard is coming out soon. It is expected to include clothing requirements that would require companies to do a hazard risk assessment and to protect workers from electric arc flash hazards. As you can see, strong standards have been developed to help safety professionals determine ways to protect employees from the very real and very serious risk of arc flash. OSHA is even looking at strengthening their regulations.